Dynamos. Welcome, Power Dynamos. Welcome in this round 15 of the first MTN two teams lineups we share with you now. Shall we? Coach Wetson Nyerenda has made not in the first 11 sheet, but instead it is the Ghanaian who's making his first Dynamos, coached by Chitemfuma, Perry Mutapa. They've made as on the bench, but instead it's Benson Sakala starts and captains the side. Lameka is not part of the team in the first 11. David. So Amalila blows the start of the first half here at the Nkoloma Stadium. It is Elite Lusaka Dynamos up against Power Dynamos. Matimba Nkonje, I'm your commentator this afternoon. Alongside me, Mukamba Mwenda Jr. and together we'll be giving you running commentaries on this match that promises a lot of sparks. Yes, there's a lot in terms of pride at stake also here.
Well, certainly so. Later today we'll see a lot of fireworks in Super Bowl 55, but the Zambian version of fireworks is upon us right now. Power Dynamos and Lusaka Dynamos is definitely going to be fire. I must say I like the balance from this Power Dynamo side. If you look at the likes of David Daka, Spencer Sautu, there's a nice balance there. But Lusaka Dynamos, take nothing away from them. They have an abundance of strike force. They've got enough power in their team. Emmanuel Chabula, Derrick Bulaya, Colin Skombe, Adam Zikiru. That should scare any defense, Matimba.
Chabula brought down foul by Benson Sakala, and already a yellow card. Amalida will not wait, so Sakala, the captain, into the referee's book. Is this an indication of how much physicality or physical play we're anticipating this afternoon?
Well, it's going to be a bit difficult. Benson has been told that he needs to set himself in that middle of the pack. He needs to make sure that he tells them, coach just telling him, look, don't let them run circles around you. Make sure that you pick up the second runner. But Benson a bit too early to pick up that yellow card. But expect a lot of feistiness in this game, a lot of tactics as well. Perry and Masauso have never been shy to take on the likes of Goliath. And right now, in terms of coaching pedigree, Wetson Nyerenda is one of the best in the continent, one of the best in the region, and him taking on a star-studded Lusaka Dynamo side will make Power wake up. I'm thinking, how's the balance going to be in this Lusaka Dynamo side? It's top heavy. I don't know who will be trekking back, but there's need for players to really play in the right position. At the back, they do have the likes of Chilufya joining the technical bench. But for me, Matimba, Musa Muhammad, Oceans Mushiri, Paul, and Paso have really been playing some good football. Not forgetting Duncan Otieno, he's really been forceful in front of that back four. But it's up top. They kind of like feel top heavy. You've got Funga, who really plays as a striker. Skombe, Bulaya, Emmanuel and Adams. It will take a lot of discipline for this Lusaka Dynamo side, but great firepower, I must say.
The cover coming through from Mongandala. It was rather Jackson Kakunta. It was Aubrey Funga who had put up pressure, but Tony Kazembe showing some strong defensive skills at the back. This is an even and perfect matchup in terms of the two Dynamos this afternoon. Benson Sakala. Don't clear out. David Daka has made the run. Taken wide to the Zimbabwean Ocean Mushure. Chabula. Funga. Zikiru. It was a good pass from, had it come to fruition from the Ghanaian, but cover provided by Faustin Bakodida. Kakunta waiting to just edge his players to go forward. Duncan Otieno. This is possession in a dangerous area now, picked up by the Power Dynamos through Chaniza Zulu. Good turning by Godfrey Ngwenya. Finds Spencer Sautu. Wide now. The dummy is sought by David Daka. Cross comes through from... and a missed chance here. An opportunity for Ngwenya. Blocked by Mushuri. It was a good movement. That should have been given a thumbs up and thanks with a goal probably that could have come through. Such movements really don't normally come through anyhow. Kazembe. Foul by Aubrey Funga. Kazembe not pleased with that late challenge that came through from Aubrey Funga.
Well, Funga just clips his back heel, but it's got such a nice balance. For me, this Power Dynamo side has got just the right balance. Players knowing each other, they've played together for a while. They know how to run circles around their opponents. And this Lusaka Dynamo side is a proper dynamite, waiting to explode the talent that they have. For me, they seem top heavy. I'll say it again. They've got too many players who may not put in the shift. If the discipline is there, boy oh boy, we've got an afternoon to sever.
Outside his boat, White Mwanamamba, the chest for the boys on. Chamanga up against Paul Banda. Kept in play. Sautu, Spencer. Foul on Spencer.
It looks like it was offside actually.
In fact, yeah, the time the ball was being released to Spencer Sautu. So pressure on Chitemfuma. It's about recovery. Perry Mutapa really has to make it count in terms of the games in hand. Remember, teams like Green Eagles, Napsa Stars have really struggled when they came off from domestic engagements to try to get the points from the games in hand. In the case of Power Dynamos, because of having about 5 players that are away with the Chan team, so it means it's catch-up time for the Power Dynamo side. Second offside flag coming up from second assistant against Spencer Sautu. Better watch his runs, or maybe it's the discipline that is being showed at the back by the Lusaka Dynamo side. Chabula. Spencer pining up on Mayenge. Ngwenya. People looking for Chaniza Zulu up against Paul Banda. Lusaka Dynamo's right back does very well. Advantage for the Lusaka Dynamo side. Chaniza playing his first season in the Power Dynamo's colors from Lumwana Radiance.
Quite explosive. Really puts a lot of acceleration from Norway, Chaniza. And that's what Power Dynamos have. They've got these players who can really turn defense into attack in almost a half second.
Chaniza Zulu. There's communication there. So this is the 17th meeting between these two sides from 2000 in the last 21 years. And Lusaka Dynamos has only managed 5 wins, 6 draws, losing 5 times, scoring 17 goals, allowing 18, negative 1 goal difference. And out of a possible 48 points, Lusaka Dynamos since 2000 have only managed 21 points. Back pass Chaniza Zulu all the way to goalkeeper Jackson Kakunta.
Is he still on loan from Red Arrows?
Still on loan, yes. Remember, he also had the loan spell at Nakambala Leopards. That's
so this is his parent club?
Yes.
Yeah. So he knows the stadium very well.
Simply put. White Mwanambaba. Sakala, Benson. Put forward. Ngwenya. Chested nicely, but it was Dynamos Lusaka who received with Musa Maeko there. Ocean Moshuri back in the first 11. Seems they're changing that right back position with Joliba Joseph Zimba. Big man being put under pressure by the fast running David Daka. So 16 home games, in fact, is what these two teams have played against each other, with Lusaka Dynamos winning 5, drawing 5, losing 5. But overall, 31 matches. This is the 32nd meeting since 2000. 7 wins for Lusaka Dynamos, 10 draws, 14 losses, 26 goals scored, allowing 40, negative 24 goal difference. 99 points is what was expected, but they only got 31. Cross comes through from Lusaka Dynamos and taken out for a goal kick.
The build-up again in the engine room. Ian Otieno, I will not emphasize enough how important this player is for Lusaka Dynamos. The weight of attack changes and moves. Nice nutmeg from Collins Kombe. And when the boys put into the channel, you know there's only one player they're looking for, Adams. But unfortunately, he wasn't fast to the ball. Lusaka Dynamos really look scary when they're in attack.
And I guess you meant Duncan Otieno, because Ian is the goalkeeper for the Zesco United side. Of course, yesterday I was not part of the team that lost 1-0 against Young Green Eagles. Instead, between the sticks was Tosta and Sabata. On the bench was the Spider-Man, Jacob Banda. Sikombe, Funga, Aubrey. We're in for some interesting football record here. Highly tactical match. Too much for both Paul Banda and Derrick Bulaya.
It's good to see that the youngster Derrick is still being given time and space on the ball. We've been crying season in, season out that teams in the Premier League need to pick up more youngsters, need to pick up more players from the lower divisions. And Derrick, if you look at him, looks like a big lad, but he's a lighty.
Kakunta. White, Mwanamba. Commanding his players to push forward his goalkeeper, Kakunta. John Soko. Showing a lot of stability, Soko. Bakodila. Kazembe. Spencer Saoto took his eyes off the ball and quickly picked up by Duncan Otieno. Sikombe. Banda. Gwenya now can just delay in terms of releasing the ball. Sakala, Benson, Ngwenya, Godfrey. Should have looked on the far left, or rather far right, where there was Tony Kazembe who had ventured forward. John Soko. Good ball for the youngster Bulaya. Combined effort of Spencer Sautu and Chaniza Zulu stopping Derrick Bulaya, the 18-year-old Lusaka Dynamos striker. Of course, for Chaniza Zulu, was always a regular feature in the Lumana Radiant side with the likes of Alan Kapida, who had been captain for a long time for the Lumana side before moving from Northwestern Province to Lusaka, where he's now on the books of Red Arrows. Throw is taken. Sikombe. Lusaka Dynamos finding it difficult to penetrate this Power Dynamos defense that looked very solid in terms of not showing any chances or giving any space for the Lusaka Dynamos attacking prowess of Sikombe and Chabula to be noticed. Sakala forcing a pass stopped by Sikombe. Sakala. Dynamos beginning to turn this one more into like an exhibition match. Chamanga. Soko. John. Oh, good play by Power Dynamos. About 16 passes, according to my count, and they foul by Derrick Bulaya on Benson Sakala. As usual, Wetson Nyirenda just taking notes there, leaving the responsibility of giving out the instructions to Ian Bakala.
A proper tactician, has been around the continent with a number of teams, and he brings a wealth of experience to this Lusaka Dynamo side. Can't wait to see what he does tactically with
Ngwenya now has gone forward, and Mushiri Ocean was slow there in trying to stop Godfrey Ngwenya. The Zimbabwean would have been the guilty one there had that one resulted in a goal. Ocean Mushiri. Perry Mutapa just looking on. It was interesting to hear from him when his team drew against Green Eagles in the last game. Wide now to David Daka. Cross comes through, too close to Monga, and Monga collects. There was some bang on the back of Monga Ndala, the Lusaka Dynamos captain, from Godfrey Ngwenya. Such a he's got such a funny character, this Monga Ndala.
Yeah, he really plays with his heart on his sleeve, eh? Monga Ndala, now the captain, and means a lot to him. He's one of those players who's really embodied the epitome of this Lusaka Dynamos side, their philosophy and what they want to do, not only in the league but on the continent as well.
Throw for the Lusaka Dynamos side, quarter of an hour played. Perry Chitemfuma Mutapa, animated, just moving around the technical area there. Soko.
The young man Bulaya has got a bit of a heavy touch. Probably Wetson will do well to work on that.
So we can update you. Buttecon Football Club new Nkana 1, Simon Mulenga.
Scoring for fun, huh?
Yeah, extending his goal tally now to 4. Remember, he scored a hat-trick last week against Young Green Eagles. But Mushuda's got a shot here. And not a bad effort from the Zimbabwean Ocean Mushure. That's what he's capable of doing. I really feel Lusaka Dynamos did a good job in bringing the Zimbabwean to that left-back position. A direct replacement for the Ugandan in Joseph Ochaya, who's now playing for Tupuisa Mazembe. Sakala Benson. Mayenge. Funga playing on the left today. Sikombe. Ocean Mushure. Mayenge. Mayeko. Musa Muhammad. Banda on the right, trying to see how they can just spread the movement, but stopped by Spencer Sautu. Oh, Banda together with the likes of Sydney Kalume, and added to that list Emmanuel Habasimbi, one of the longest serving players at this Lusaka Dynamo side at present. Chabula. Stopped nicely by Tony Kazembe, but now Funga's got a chance, too close to Bakodila, who rushes up things to Chabula. Wide now to the young Bulaya. Takes a shot, blocked. Second chance now, looking for Funga, and leaving nothing to chance was Tony Kazembe. Kazembe being pushed more forward in terms of the attacking role. Something different that we did not see when he was playing at Forest Rangers. Of course, the influence of Coach Mutapa clearly been shown. He moves to Power Dynamos, and Kazembe also moves to Power Dynamos for Malembe. Corner for the Lusaka Dynamo side. Funga takes one at the far post. A poor job done by the Lusaka Dynamos player, but Sikombe will try to keep it in play here. And advantage Lusaka Dynamos. They know each other very well. Both of them fresh smarting from the AFCON Chan tournament. In the case of Collins Sikombe. Kakunta on the spotlight now. And he can whip in nice ones from that position. Ocean Mushure. This season, we've not seen him score so far. The player also played for Monomotapa in Zimbabwe. And too much goal kick. Kakunta is not happy with maybe the instructions that he was backing out to his war that he was hoping to defend the 2018 Young Player of the Year award winner in Zambia, Kakunta.
He's been told you're the goalkeeper, you're in control. Look, he's telling Spencer, and Spencer is a senior player at it. He's telling him, don't talk to the ref, listen to me. And that's what you need from the goalkeeper. I mean, I always fancy goalkeepers that talk to their defenses, because you need to have that communication. That's when you can really deliver a very unique sort of approach to the game.
Chamanga, he had to wait to bring it to his favorite left. That's one problem that naturally left-footed players normally have. Well, one might argue that it's the same also with right-footed player. But outcome now with Aubrey Funga at the Lusaka Dynamos. Poorly done by Funga. Mayenge.
Twice now his delivery has not lived up to expectation, Funga.
I think if he were to be brought to the right flank, maybe...
I'm actually thinking maybe Bulaya and him can interchange, because I was talking about tactically what Lusaka Dynamos would do with that awesome front line, because you've got Aubrey Funga, Collins Kombe, Derrick Bulaya, Emmanuel Chabula and Adam Zikiru. If you can interchange them in positions, it will really bring confusion to this Power Dynamos defense.
Chaniza Zulu, Spencer Sautu, Sakala now. Thought he was going to pull the trigger there.
Let's go.
Picked up by Chamanga. Foul by Bulaya on Chamanga means it's advantage for Power Dynamos. Speaking of which, last time in Lusaka Dynamos beat Power Dynamos by 2-0. Baba Basile and an own goal from Faustin Bakodida. So the 2 goals for Lusaka Dynamos in the 9th and 30th minute. But Rari Kumuchacha, who had scored for the Power Dynamo side in that game that was played on January 26th. 11th minute it was from Rari Bulaya.
Collins Kombe being the box-to-box player, really putting in a shift. He's almost covering 3/4 of a field of play.
Good control by John Soko. Zulu found by Duncan Otieno. Offers his apologies quickly after bringing down Chaniza Zulu, who was a late casualty in Coach Micho's selection for the Chan tournament. Dropped at the last moment before the team made the trip to Cameroon.
Duncan Otieno working in stealth. We're seeing a lot of Collins Kombe, but it's Duncan Otieno who's really picking up the scraps and cleaning up everybody's mess.
David Daka takes a shot. The ball hits straight in the face of Spencer Sautu. Bulaya. Popanda. Mayenge will clear it out. Skombe.
Should have played advantage.
Yes, exactly my point. If you read my mind, too much top start. Some of those decisions, Hamalida really, they just allow play to go on, more so that the possession was still with Lusaka Dynamos. Sikombe. Wide now to Paul Banda. Good block by Spencer Sound. He delayed in bringing in the cross. Paul Banda. Spencer really earning the title of the Prince of Choma, especially after having scored the equalizer for Zambia at the Chan tournament. He came off the bench against Guinea. Musa Muhammad. Second ball was meant for Aubrey Funga, but good cover. And the foul committed by Funga on Tony Kazembe. Oh, the DRC man is really working very hard now, helping out defensively. Play on the screen, Tony Kazembe.
He's one of those hard workers. And that's the reason why.
So Branwell has equalized for Butekon Football Club, the Zambian international, barely 12 minutes after Simon Mulenga had scored. So it's Butekon 1 and Nkana 1.
This is a tactical beauty. I mean, the way they are cancelling each other out, just the way they have been lined up. think it's a marvel for young coaches and anybody who's a student of football, especially taking into account the strengths of the players on the field of play.
Throw now for Lusaka Dynamos with Ocean Mushure. Musa Muhammad. I think it's one of those games, Musa, Muka, where you talk about it's a mistake. The moment of like you say it. And that results in, like as is the case now, when the foul has been committed by Power Dynamos, bringing down Aubrey Funga. Chance for the Lusaka Dynamo side, and if there's one player who really will fancy himself to get this one, it's Ocean Mushuri.
Well, it looks like Collins Kombe will have a number on Mushuri, just outside the box from Kazembe on Aubrey Funga. Mushiri will fancy his chances, Kombe will fancy his chances, but it's an opportunity certainly for Lusaka Dynamos to score from there, including Funga himself. Kakunta needs to be very alert.
Young brother of Diaz Kakunta played for Power Dynamos. His older brother played for Power Dynamos. We're talking of Jackson Kakunta in this case. Organizing his defense, the Power Dynamos goalkeeper. You see, they've really brought back everyone. Zulu Chaniza is there, Bako Dida is there. All the big lads that they have in the Power Dynamos shirts. But Ocean Mushiri, I'll tell you, can be able to curl this one past the wall. Sikombe is dead, and good defensive work by Spencer Sautu.
He was goal bound, and Sautu just made sure that his goalkeeper Kakunta could only worry about the corner. Nicely struck. And Spencer, in addition to a little bit of a header from James Chamanga's brother in Luka Chamanga, clear the lines for Dynamos.
Corner taken by Ocean Mushuri, kept alive by Adam Zikiru. Power Dynamos players were watching. Paso Mayenge. Cherry Chabula now peels off the Power Dynamos defense. Cross comes through, looking for Zikiru. A chance here, and wide from Bulaya. I think it's about coordination here. Yes, they've got all these names, a galaxy of stars you may call, but really, I think they've not played together for some time, and that's where the undoing is maybe for the Lusaka Dynamo side.
Well, Ocean's Musiri earlier on just puts the ball into the box. Adams pulls it back. Very little he can do from that angle, quite acute. Timba, you're talking about the combination of play and the players. The formation itself is a 1-3-1-4-2 formation. Well, you may call it a 3-5-2 formation.
But it's Power Dynamos that have got good movements on and off the ball. Clearly it's showing.
Well, Power have been playing together for a longer time, and that's what this makes for such a good game, because Power have the right balance. But in terms of quality, you can't take it away from Lusaka Dynamos. They do have probably a better strike force in terms of firepower. The only question mark will be that of Derrick Bulaya, only because he doesn't have experience, but it's definitely one for the future.
Bulaya. The fact that the coach has continued to keep faith and always put him in the first 11.
18 years, Matimba, and look at what he's doing. And for me, the thing I like the most about the young man is that he's versatile. Now he's playing slightly more deeper, and he's got a big body.
Dala forced to come out and take that one desperately. The Lusaka Dynamos goalkeeper. Throw taken. John Soko. Zulu Chaniza. Sakala Benson. South. Chaniza Zulu. Must have practiced this a lot of times. Tony Kazembe. Headed out by Paso Mayenge. Picked up. Must show a sense of urgency really to put in the attack at this Lusaka Dynamo side. They're really delaying.
They are, and Perry is shouting Benson stay, Chaniza go, because he knows the threat that is being provided by the likes of Duncan Otieno and company in there. Colin Skombe really peeling off and running. We saw Chabula also doing it. They do have pace on Lusaka Dynamos, this Power Dynamos side, I must say, especially on the flanks. Chaniza making those runs, David Daka and Spencer Sautu, if they get the ingredients right, might nick in one against the run of play.
John Soko. Ngwenya Godfrey. Of course, there's a big game coming up on the 28th, 27th of this month at the Nkana Stadium. It will be the Kitwe Derby, El Kopala, Nkana versus Power Dynamos. Always a cracker of a match on the Zambian football calendar and African football calendar overall. That's club football, of course.
And more so now that Nkana are back to winning ways. So it's always a question if Nkana are not playing the best football. All Power Dynamos.
Spencer Sautu to Godfrey Ngwenya, finds Chamanga. Offside. But the thing also about the derby, just to quickly add, is that even when a team is not playing well, when it's a derby, they'll bring in their A game because there's pride at stake. Sikombe. Ocean Mushure. Switch play finds Cherry Chabula. Too much. Or whether it was Chabula who couldn't control that one. Zambian international. Lusaka Dynamo is also beginning to use the wide areas, trying as much as possible that they become more operational, switching. Oh, Mtapa recently, in fact last year, the stint in terms of coaching at the Orlando Pirates side when Milosevic Sredovic was coach at Orlando Pirates, in fact the year before last. Chamanga with the throw. His older brother James was on the losing side as Red Arrows were beaten 1-0 yesterday. Sikombe looking for the run from Chabula. Goalkeepers come out. Kakunta does well to put up pressure on Chabula. Headed out by Paul Banda. Very good challenge. So says referee Hamalida up against Godfrey Ngwenya. And the Zambians remember Ngwenya having made his debut for the senior national team when Heverena was coach against Zimbabwe straight from the Airtel Rising Stars as an 18-year-old. Half an hour plus 2 minutes played here. Scoreless between Lusaka Dynamos and Power Dynamos. So in 2016, it was a round 6 game that was played on April 16. It ended Lusaka Dynamos nil and Power Dynamos nil. That's the last time we had a scoreless draw between these two sides in Lusaka. But now, how about this? Referee judging that the shoulder challenge from David Daka was a foul on Paso Mayenge. Duncan Otieno. Muhammad Musa. Mushuri has already started making the run and calling for the ball. And so he's on the far left being Aubrey Funga. Frustration really coming in terms of Adam Zikiri with 2 players policy now. This is David Daka, chance for Power Dynamos, brought inside from Ngwenya. Opportunity for Spencer here. Chance now, and it's a goal! The Prince of Choma puts Power Dynamos in the lead here. And it is Spencer Sautu. No chance for Mongandala. How about this for a celebration? And yet again, his first in the Power Dynamos shirt since moving from Green Eagles. And Spencer Sautu brings the celebration here for Power Dynamos. Wetson Nyerenda and team now, including Manchi Janza, who have to talk to their defense about tight marking. But the Prince of Choma putting Power Dynamos in the lead here.
He's not been the best player for Lusaka Dynamos by a distance, but he's got the experience. It's David Daka who beats his marker, looks for Spencer Sautu. And the flat-footed nature of Lusaka Dynamos here, not picking up the danger. Look, Mongandala will argue that Godfrey Ngwenya was in front of him. And I think that the fact that Godfrey was there, he did actually impede him a little bit. He did really sort of give him a hindrance of sorts. But that being said, beautiful strike from Spencer Sau to take nothing away from the former Green Eagles player, the man who was banging in the goals for Zambia at the Chan.
Sautu, the goal in the 34th minute. It is elite new, our yellow one.
Game on. The home side need to make something out of all the possession that they've had. I've been saying for a while now that it's a tactical exhibition. Duncan Otieno has been very quiet, doing all the dirty work. Emmanuel Chabula will look to go to the Zimbabwean Mushiri for the center.
Cross comes through. Good reply it may be for Lusaka Dynamos if they get this one. At the nearby, it's a goal! Equalizer. I did say it will be a good reply. And it is Derrick Bulaya. And oh boy, what happened? Butter hands from Kakunta. I was talking about a reply. Disappointment for Chitemfuma Perry Mutapa. Surely, this is good reply and good reaction. They're really claiming their seconds. Power Dynamos were still celebrating and taking pictures.
Well, almost capable of the spectacular, but just in that instance, Lady Luck smiles at the young man, 18-year-old. The ball ricochets off a Power Dynamos player. Kakunta cannot do anything about it. Soko looks on. And it's almost as if it not only catches Derrick Bulaya, but the entire Lusaka Dynamos team by shock, because they didn't even go to celebrate with him.
Bulaya with the equalizer. It is 1-0 here. It's really living up to the Dynamos clash here. And he's, what a way to score a goal. His first goal in the Lusaka Dynamos colors is Derrick, in fact his second, I beg your pardon, second goal in the domestic league. Fouled by Paul Banda on Spencer Sautu.
Sautu feels it was a fair attempt, but Paul certainly clipping Sautu's heel. Game on it is. I just feel like we are in for a lot of mistakes, because both teams playing some open play.
Well, Mwangandala just tying the earlier. As well as this taping that does come through in terms of the players putting in that one. You can see how quickly bit of help coming through there on Mwangandala. I reckon he must have been a bit uncomfortable. Mwangandala was now made Lusaka Dynamos home, having moved from Cabo Warriors. So
yeah, that tip really helps with the shin guard. Matimba, when you and I were playing, when you and I were playing football, the shin guard was slightly bigger and longer, and it had clips at the bottom and the top. Now it's just a small little thing, nothing more than 15 centimeters.
See, you've done the measurements there. So, as usual, they have to wait, and Spencer Sautu quickly takes the responsibility himself, having been earlier brought down by Paul Banda. Sautu, and for a goal kick, it goes out. So that was a good reply for Derrick Bulaya, and has really shocked this man, Perry Mutapa. Of course, his older brother, Oswald Mutapa, is the assistant coach to the Zambian national soccer team. It's a football family, because his father was once coach and player for Nkwazi Football Club, and his uncle, the late Dick Chama, was once captain for the Zambian national soccer team, and apart from that, coached a lot of sides apart from the national team in Zambia. Mayenge with a kick out, chested and received nicely by Godfrey Ngwenya. 7 minutes to the halftime break here. White, Mwanambaba, John Soko. Picked up by Bulaya, the goal scorer. meant for Zikiru. He's having a difficult afternoon this afternoon. Likes of Bakodida just put in Adam Zikiru in their pocket. There must have been seriously instructions that came through from Perry Mutapa. Remember that it was under Mutapa that Adam Zikiru really blossomed in terms of his football and decided to start banging in the goals, having a successful stay or stint at the Zegamambo, the Zesco United side. Ocean Mushure. Touch on by Sikombe. It was meant for Aubrey Funga. Mushure again. Chested by Zikiru. Chance now for Bulaya. Blocked by Chamanga. Good vision from Musa Muhammad to Sikombe. Second ball meant for Cherry. Confusion. The goalkeeper's come out. Waiting for Zikiru. Leaves it for Bulaya, who bombs straight into the body of Chamanga. Spencer Sautu. Chaniza with the second ball. Picked up by Duncan Otieno. Sikombe. This went out, but Banda does well. Youngster hoping to win the favor of the match official by claiming that it was an elbow straight into his face, but at least we saw it wasn't. So if it ends this way, the last time out we had a 1-0 draw was 9 years ago. That game was a 2002 match that was played on July 24 in Lusaka. When it ended, Lusaka Dynamos 1 and Power Dynamos 1. Since then, we've never had a 1-0 draw when these two sides have met. Back pass to Kakunta. Mistake now by Chaniza Zulu, who's limping from this position. Wide now. Bulaya delays to bring in the cross, finds Sikombe. A chance! A bit of talking, a bit of communication have helped between Sikombe and Chabula. They both went for the ball. In the meantime, if there's a change that Power Dynamos may make from this position, Chaniza Zulu does not look very comfortable after receiving that knock. It may just be an early casualty in terms of the substitution that may be made with 4 minutes to the halftime break here. John Soko. Foul by Musa Mayeko Muhammad on Spencer Sautu, who cleverly did not go for the aerial challenge and thereby letting the Kenyan really hoping to have an afternoon ride on the back of Spencer Sautu. Sautu. Wide now, outside his boot, finds Tony Kazembe. Whips in one, cleared out by Musa Muhammad. Good recovery by the Kenyan. Kazembe. John Soko. Sakala. Benson. Forced to play back. All the way to goalkeeper Jackson Kakunta. White Manambaba. Not so much confidence shown there by White Manambaba in terms of receiving the pass and probably making progression. His options being narrowed, I guess.
Devi does give you that option of just having somebody who can give you a bit of an injection. He's got a lot of pace about him and he's quite quick. It's funny how in the recent past some coaches tried to play him in defense. Well, modern football is about playing in different positions, but David Daka as a defender, it's like using a tractor in Formula 1.
Good switch. Chested by Kazembe, but it's a Funga almost won it, that one. Sakala, Benson. To the last 1 minute of regulation time here. Spencer Sauti. Good ball now. But Daka was second and clear out by Paul Banda.
Lusaka Dynamos failing to pick up the second run, just failing to pick up the second ball. One of the problems that I've seen so far in that defense is that they are not alert to danger.
Throw a short one taken by Chamanga. And Mongandala, it grazes the crossbar. He was in no man's land, Mongandala.
Well, we've seen a free goal before from the youngster Derrick Bulaya. And Luka looks to score one from really the surprise room, because Mongandala had nothing on that goal.
2 minutes additional time were presented here by the boardsman. Too much for Bulaya. Throw in for the visitors. Sakala, an extension. David Daka can run, but up against experienced Musa Muhammad Mayeko, really have to come up with something extraordinary, some extra effort that needs to be brought in. Ocean Mushure. Funga's been very busy, as if it's is involved in a 100 meters race, but not getting anywhere in terms of getting the ball. Foul on Collins Sikombe Maluda. Truth be told, is one of the missing links in the NAPSA Stars setup, having made the decision to leave at a time when I reckon the team really needed his input during the continental engagements that are coming up. Last few seconds we're playing out here in this first half here. So it looks like we'll find ourselves with the first half ending 1-0, unless something does come through. But it's one first half really, at least 2 goals presented, but maybe, and even I was about to say maybe, Spencer Sound in the 34th minute.